Okay, I'm going to do a quick demonstration on using ExtendSim to run some of the examples in Chapter 7 of our textbook. The examples there used version 6 of Extend, and there were some pretty big differences from what I can find in version 7. Some of the libraries changed and were discontinued. Some of the blocks were changed, renamed, or discontinued, and it might be helpful to learn how to do it both ways, the old version and the new version. So what I have here is example 7. I created this using the legacy blocks in the library, and you can find those by opening the library and then finding the legacy subfolder and then double clicking on either BPR or discrete event. When you do that, I'm not going to do it here because it's already open, you will get an error message that says that those libraries were created in an older version of Extend and you should not use them any longer. It doesn't tell you though that you're better off using the item library where most of those items are now stored. It just says use them for viewing old versions of models, but don't use them to create new ones. Well, it turns out it looks like you can still create new ones. You just have to know where to find that information. So one thing that I found helpful was to open the the library window, and it popped up on the other side of my screen. That's a little toolbar that shows all of the different libraries, and in this drop down it'll show you whatever ones that you happen to have open. And when you've got it open like this, you can now drag and drop the various blocks. So I found that pretty helpful. I'm not going to take you through how this particular model works since you saw that previously. But I will show you how to create a new one. So we open up a new model. I'll resize it here so it fits our screen. First thing that we do is change the simulation setup, which should have an end time of 40, and that would be 40 hours. We go ahead and hit OK. Now I think it's important to watch that. I've had a couple of situations where I thought I hit OK, but I must have hit cancel or run setup or something like that, and those numbers didn't stick. When we add some of our blocks in a little bit, we'll be able to tell right off the bat if they in fact stuck, those numbers stuck. We'll be using the item library for the most part. And there are a couple of differences as we walk through this model that I'll point out. First item is the executive, and that did not change, so every model must have that, upper left-hand corner. The import, however, has been changed to create. And the export has been changed to exit. Our repository over here is now something a little bit different, and that is now a resource item. Oh, and how do I know this? Well, let me show you something. In your documentation folder, you should find this Excel spreadsheet, version 6 to version 7 equivalents. And under the BPR tab, you'll find things such as in version 6, we used export blocks, now we use exit blocks. We used to use import, now we use create. We used to use a stack, now we use a queue or a repository, now we use a resource item. So that'll help you out in making those conversions. So here we have our resource item. And as I mentioned, it said operations on that sheet, it said there is no direct correlation for operation, so use a batch plus activity block. Here, I'll bring that back over. So for operation, use batch plus activity block. So I'll go ahead and do that. Now we need to edit everything. So this already is set to exponential. And remember when I said we can check to see if our simulation setup actually took hold? This is where we would find that. If this didn't say hours or was such a generic or something like that, we would know that that didn't take hold. So these are our requests in. Our resource items, we're going to start with 0 in the model. And this is going to be our inbox. This is our batch. I'm going to just call it batch. And one thing I found is that in order for the model to run, this must be set to some number. Typically it's a larger number because you batch them up. In this case we're batching in sizes of 1. This is our underwriting process. And all we really know in our underwriting is that the process takes 0.8 hours. And then finally this is our requests done. We need to connect everything. And we should be good to go. So let's take a look at our simulation. Here we've got the animation set on. As I mentioned, that slows down the process quite a bit. It looks cute for a while unless you're waiting for 10 minutes. So I'm going to turn that off here. And we'll just go run simulation, and the first time through we had 42 requests done over the week. I'm going to hit the quick key, which is on a Mac is Command R. It's probably Control R on a PC, and we can run this several times. And we can see that 37 this last time through. And we'll do the same up here. You can see that number changes, but it's in a range from, say, 25 to 45 or 50. One final thing, I haven't really figured out yet why we need the batch, why it says that we need batch. Since, at least in this case, it seems like our inbox is doing the same thing. So what would happen if we got rid of it? And we just connected those two pieces together. And I'll go and do run simulation. I come up with 48, 49, 38, 36, all in that same range. So it seems like it, in this case at least, it's working without that, and it could be because of this resource item that we have that's kind of doling out our applications in the inbox. I hope that was helpful for you, and maybe we'll do some more.